March 6, 1989. Ms. Ruth J. Abram, Curator, the Tenement Museum, 97 Orchard Street, New York, New York. Dear Ms. Abram, I am a longtime listener at WNYCAM Radio. What a delight as an old New Yorker to hear that at last the history of my family and my old New York will be preserved. After hearing that the records in the old Customs House and Boss Tweed's building were either lost to us or already lost to us, I am overjoyed to hear of your work and that of your group. Having said that, I would like to relate a few facts. My ancestors go back in the city as far as oral history goes, to the 1700s. I and my mother, uncles, and cousins remember that grandmother and great-grandmother and father were dwellers in the tenements of old New York City and lived on Minetta Lane, Prince Street. The men worked at the old South Street Seaport, and they attended the St. Patrick's Church. Some were born in St. Joseph Church's Infirmary. They related to us how water came in by wagon from upstate. They related how the department stores, Macy's and others, were downtown. We lived in tenements with gas lights and coal stoves. They were African Americans, and their names were Lawrence, Nolan, and Downing. They lived in the tenements on the old Bowery and related to us about the old Tong gangs and how the first Catholic church, they were Catholics, was St. Anthony's in the Village. They were pushed out by the new immigrants in the beginning of the century and moved from the Lower East Side to Hell's Kitchen, Chelsea, the Tenderloin, West 40s, and finally to the West 50s, which was called Old San Juan Hill. Grandpa got out the vote for Tammany. So when you are planning your museum, I beg of you, please, please don't forget them. Their spirits walk those halls, and their bones lay in the earth there, and we remember them. Most of society seems to write us off when they look at the history of New York City and America. But my people were part of New York City long before it was a city as such. Some of them, like my great-grandmother, told us about the Civil War riots when they burned down the old colored orphanage, when Lincoln Hospital, the old building, was for sick and poor slaves. They did laundry, swept chimneys, laid bricks, tarred roofs, and did serve in the army in all the wars, and deserve to be remembered. Sincerely, Gina Manuel, Assistant Circulation Manager, Literary Department. P.S. Forgive typos on coffee break.